What is this? What color? Which color is this? Is this not army green? This is what they use.
What will you do with a government that arms terrorists to kill civilians?
In all, between the first day they were kidnapped and when they were released, we had spent close to 175 million naira. 175 million naira.
They are fighting us. Most of the casualties in the hospitals, they were injured by these soldiers. I don't actually know.
When they faced a volley of fire, look, they screamed and ran for their lives. The next day, the commissioner of police demanded that anybody who has guns should come and submit them.
When the bandits took the money,
yes,
and then moving to their escape routes.
The people we sent to deliver the money got lost, and they said to the military, "We are looking for this."
And the military will tell them, "Okay, take left, take right."
Yes.
Reports of people saying on so day there will be killings, and on so day there were killings.
We all admitted we were shocked about military personnel, that people who are trusted to protect us, that some of them have not become part of our problem. But when our boys will stand with their local, I say local, just local made gun to protect their land, your people will fight them.
We don't need any election in Nigeria right now until the security issue is resolved.
The story you're about to hear will change the way you see this country, Nigeria. There are a lot of things that's going on in Nigeria, but hearing from somebody from Aso Rock, it will tell you that there is no solution to this insecurity. I encourage every one of you to watch this particular video to the very end so that you will not just take a concept out of it. Everybody, welcome back to Plan B TV News Gist and Blog. This is your first time of coming across our video. Please do ensure you subscribe. If you do, turn on your notification bell so that you wouldn't miss out on our future uploads. Now, let's get right into it. I stumbled across this particular video of late Buhari, a spokesperson. And what he said, how his family, his persons, his cousin were kidnapped, how the Nigerian soldiers were complicit in the kidnap. And I just want you guys to listen to every details of the story that you're about to hear. We'll be right back to give you other story as well.
Last year, my nephew was kidnapped. My late sister's son, along with 3 other people. They went to a farm they had hired, and they used to go there and farm things. And they were kidnapped on just a few miles after between Kaduna on the way to Kacha. They put up in this maybe house, maybe hotel in the village. In the night, bandits came. One of them tried to run away. They followed him, shot him dead, dragged his body back so that the other 3 can see what will happen if the other 3 try to run away. They didn't. They were taken just a few kilometers into the bush, and they spent 36 days there.
36 days.
36 days.
Your nephew?
I was my nephew, my sister's son. At that time, I was the special. I was the
Special advisor, political to the president.
I was working in the villa. There was hardly anybody I didn't speak to. We gave them the coordinates, which was easy to get. Where those 37 days, every single day, Malanza, we spoke with the bandits and we spoke with our nephew and the 2 other people. Every single day, with 4 or 5 of his uncles. Every day we conversed. Every day they would tell us their condition. We will negotiate. And they would tell us, the bandits would speak to us and give them the phone. We insisted on speaking to him because we wanted proof of life.
Yes.
And they kept making demands. They knew everything about him. They had done their research. The very day they picked him up, they said, "You are Ismail Sabi."
You are what?
Yes. They said, your uncle is so they were talking about me.
Special advisor to the president, living in the villa.
He's a big man, he works in the villa, so we're going to get a lot of money. They also told him about my other brother, that he was, what he was doing, and they said, so we're going to ask for a lot of money. They kept them there. The first time they said, they told us 25 million, and we thought, okay, we looked around for 25 million, and they wanted 3 motorcycles and a lot of drugs. Drugs, a lot of medication, rice, all sorts of things. And we sent it to them. They told us where to go.
You sent it?
Oh, yeah. We sent it to them. But at the same time, we also told everybody, imagine in that position, I know just about everybody who was in government, and I could go walk into their offices and ask for sympathy. Please, it's my nephew. They're going to kill him if he's not rescued. And people say, oh, give us the coordinates. And it was easy to get the coordinates.
You gave them?
Yes, we gave them all the coordinates. They would say, oh, they will not spend. They spent 37 days. We spent, all in all, between the first day they were kidnapped and when they were released, we had spent close to 175 million naira. 175 million naira. Eventually, they were released. This 175 was made up of about, I think, 120 million in cash in 3 batches. We sent people to them. They gave us directions. In one of the 3 times that they took money, they even ran into some military people who said, "You are going in the wrong direction. This is the way to go."
I mean, when the bandits took the money,
yes,
and then moving to their escape routes.
The people we sent to deliver the money got lost, and they said to the military, "We are looking for this direction. We've been told to come here," and they said, "This is the wrong way to go."
And the military will tell them, "Okay, take left, take right."
Yes,
this is a serious indictment.
I'm sorry to say this.
Yes,
I regret this, but if you see, when we say things like there's a system behind this organization, and this is last year. Now, really, what's part of it is when our nephew was released, and we would ask him things like, "Well, what did they do with all that money?" He would tell us. If we had sent money, and it gets to them by 6 p.m., by 9 p.m., a whole bunch of their seniors would come, literally take away everything, leave a little bit of money, a little bit of drug, a little bit of medication in the camp where our nephew was held. And
he saw their seniors. I mean,
oh yeah, people would come and collect this money, and they would tell them, we are just safekeepers. They are our bosses, and they have bosses, and they have bosses. This is an industry.
Has he explained how they look, the bosses?
No, they never saw the bosses. The people who were owning them were just simply
sharing or comparing notes.
No. They were just keepers of these people. They had senior people ahead of them, and those people had senior people, and the ones who kept them would tell them, our bosses.
Is it because you lost confidence in government that you parted with this humongous amount? And don't you think it's actually a criminal act to pay ransom?
In retrospect, to be honest with you, I'm glad. We never went public, but we told government. We told everybody in government. I did, and I begged. I begged them because I didn't believe that those people would let them go, in spite of the fact that we were giving them.
And you are scared he might likely be killed.
Yes. When he was released, I could barely recognize him. He still limps.
Up till now?
Yes, from an injury he had.
I'm malnourished.
And if we hadn't given that money, I'm sure they would have killed him. In fact, the very last money we sent, close to 100 million, was because they said this is the last demand we make, and we want it by tomorrow or the 2 days, in 48 hours, or we'll kill these people. My nephew said, they will kill us.
What did the security people, government, and all that told you ultimately? That they were...
We are trying to rescue them. 37 days. We are trying our best.
What do you think is serve as encumbrance for our forces to rescue people from
There's a
bushes?
system behind this. These are not just riffraff, Fulani people who have... I think there is a whole organization. There is a very tight network of these people. They have intelligence. They have access to weapons. They have access to communities. They're not people who will pick the general and take him into the bush and his wife and keep him until he dies, for goodness sake. This can't be. People.
It will not be strange to you. If you are familiar with Lucky Udu Studio, you have seen similar story on how Nigerian soldiers and whatsoever, directly or indirectly, it did not mention that Nigerian soldiers were the one that abducted, but it said that the soldiers were given direction, which means in insane country where insecurity is looming, somebody will say, I'm looking for terrorist hideout or terrorist location. I'm carrying ransom of over 100 million. I want to go and give them. You tell them, follow here, take this road. No, not take this side. Now this side
the government knows every terrorist by name.
And this will make me to conclude that what Gumi is saying, that the Nigerian federal government knows these people, knows they had that. But what troubles me is that somebody in Aso Rock could not get help, which means over time I've been saying that Nigerians, when they are ready, they will know what to do. But the story did not end there. I also want you guys to watch this particular story of this lady. What happened, her experience, how this Fulani, my pregnant woman, removed her God. I just want you guys to listen to what she said.
They came in as early as 10, and they had blocked all the road. And since nobody was aware of their coming, it was difficult for anybody to do anything. And so anybody that went out accidentally was killed. And sometimes they surround the whole house. You cannot come out. In some houses, they will kill and burn the corpses. In some places, they will, with pregnant women, they will operate on the pregnant woman and remove the baby and put on top of the corpse. So it has just been something that, is difficult for you to really endure and manage. In fact, many corpses were on the main road. You couldn't move. And some of the bandits, they are Fulani people, and we have always get together with them. And so some of them, they know our own language. So as even when people were hiding, they will call them in our language, and they'll come out and they will be killed. So I was very worried. And then I said I will go and see with my eyes. And the first corpse I saw was that of my grandson. I was really very, very, very sad. And so there in one house, they killed about 6 people, just one house. But most of the people, they died on the way. Some of them were just floating because it was during the rainy season. Some corpses were just floating on the water along the road. So that was the last time I saw it, because the other one that happened somewhere at the junction there where you saw the soldiers, something happened there. I couldn't get there because immediately they started shooting and shooting. Fulani people have always been there. So when they started this crisis, many of them, and before they will start, they will pick all their relations, the members of their family, they will go, only the men will remain to carry the attack. So they normally target where to go. Some of the bandits don't come from Nigeria. They hire them from other countries and bring them into the country. We are praying that we are all the same Father, because we all come from God. There must be that love. There must be that care for everybody. Instead of us fighting ourselves from one corner to the other, it's our earnest prayer that the government will help us, and we as individuals should help ourselves, because even if the government are trying and we are not trying, it will not work. So I feel everybody should be part of the fight, that the bandits will be completely done away with.
When you watch these particular videos, your body is boiling, your heart is beating, you are confused. What is going on? The federals are complaining, everybody is complaining. Who is the real devil that is controlling Nigeria? If we remove this Tinubu, another one comes, it's going to hurt the same. Why is this thing not having a lasting solution? I will give you guys my personal opinion and solution at the end of this video. But to confirm what this lady said, because in the right senses, when this insecurity is going on, what would your president do? You might think that he wants to take power and I'll stand on his mandate and say, oh yeah, soldiers, go. No. He ran to the Western world, and I decided to say all those things that was going on in Nigeria, they're all lies. And I want you guys to listen to the story or the testimony of this white lady, what she said about your president, Tinubu, who be right back.
There was no Truth Nigeria. There was no media organizations. And you know what was happening to those people? To Lawrence and Masara Kim and all of them? The journalists sitting in the big capital cities, the big cities and in the capital, who were taking the line from the government and didn't have the courage or the integrity or the professionalism or the character or the motivation to go to those frontline villages. They just bought the line from the government that it wasn't really happening, and they bought the line from the US State Department that this is nomadic tribesmen being forced to move from climate change. The Fulani are not really terrorists. Oh, the fact that they're Muslims got nothing to do with it. Because they're nomadic tribesmen, they're looking for other land. They're looking to go somewhere, and that's forcing them to clash with the Christian villages. Nonsense. That's absolute nonsense. That is just an example to you of how climate has been used as a scam. I mean, it's not just fake, it's much worse than that. All of these systems that are being implemented that are so profoundly dishonest, they're systems of control. How do we control the people, control the information and the narrative, and then have that as cover to do whatever it is that we want to do, which, by the way, is to go into Christian villages and not only annihilate people. I mean, in one of the recent attacks that Truth Nigeria has reported on, putting women and children inside cages in the market and burning them alive. I mean, I was sitting down to dinner in my hometown in Texas one Friday night years ago. My husband was with me. It was when we were trying to get the sound of freedom was being blocked because people didn't want child trafficking to be a conversation everyone was having. And we were doing our best to help get that movie put out. And I got a video. I showed it to my husband as we sat down. He couldn't eat. And it was a young 18-year-old, 17, 18-year-old girl from Nigeria who was pulled from one of the villages. And as they were slicing off her head, they were digging her baby out of her tummy. And she was well advanced in pregnancy. That's the reality of what, when you put those numbers up and you go before your colleagues in Congress and you put those numbers forward, that's what it means in human terms. I mean, Lawrence once was calling Doug and myself, he's sitting in the back of a meat wagon on the bodies of his friends and neighbors with malaria. Remember, after that he went out with malaria for weeks. I mean, these the courage of the people who are on the front lines reporting this cannot be overstated. But the challenge that they face is that the media itself denies the reality that they see and report on with their own eyes and ears. I mean, that's without conscience. Honestly, I stand before all of you in the National Press Club of the United States of America, the most powerful free nation on earth, where we have First Amendment rights. And I cannot say strongly enough to the press corps, do your job. Do your job. Because we are supposed to be the inspiration and also the safety net for journalists everywhere. It is truly without conscience that you can witness the execution of people and have it denied because journalists are too lazy, too corrupt, too stupid, too cowardly to stand up and tell the truth. That is without conscience. And, we have to stop being afraid of what people will say to us. We have to stop allowing those who tell the truth to be punished and those who lie to be rewarded.
Now, you're listening to what she said. She also confirmed the death of that pregnant woman. Maybe it might be different. Maybe it might be the same pregnant woman that the other lady we're talking about. You're also listening to how the Nigerian government is trying to paint the narrative to close the mouth of every Western world, the Americans, the media, the presidents, not to talk about the things that is going on in Nigeria. Now, while you might think, oh, this white lady is lying, maybe he's working for opposition. That's what APC know how to say. But I want you guys to listen to Peter Thompson, this reverend father that also came out before and accused Kashi Shettima. I want you guys to listen to what he is saying in this video. We'll be right back.
When the American intervention came first with the 2 tweets, and then the Christmas Day intervention, instead of Nigerians to respond positively to what the intervention that the American government made through Donald Trump, let me tell you what the Nigerian response was. Nigeria flooded the United States of America with money. To do what? To deny that there was a Christian genocide. Nigeria, that will not take care of its citizens at home, officially, publicly released $10 million to a lobby firm. But from the charter in Washington, Nigeria's money in Washington that has been sent to neutralize what Trump has been doing is almost $150 million. We all know that we have more than enough documentation, more than enough clout to show that there really was a Christian genocide going on. And then later on, as I had mentioned more than 10 years ago, that in the final stages, there's going to be a fighting between Muslims. The ISWAP is the most deadly of all. The Fulani and the Boko Haram is Kanuri. Kanuris and the Fulani don't see eye to eye. Two predators are fighting to be the one to devour the nation. Secondly, all honorable Muslims who refuse to be a part of terrorism end up being killed. The first time was in Kano many years ago. And when this current administration responded by pouring money into Washington, let me tell people right now, a lot of people who have been working hard in Washington, I'll mention only one name. There's a young man, Stephen Inada, for instance. I want to tell you that when I sit in consultation groups with a lot of people right now, the money poured in by Nigeria has dampened the enthusiasm in Washington. A lot of people who were speaking up before, who had been informed, who had the information, all of a sudden are also coming down. However, the good news is Frank Wolf, Chris Smith, people like that, Bob Destro, Greg Stanton, this Andrew Wilder, Faith McDonald, these are people who refuse to give up.
So, from what you are saying, is the Nigerian government bribing people that have been speaking up for Nigeria in Washington?
The mantra of the government today is that whatever problem money cannot solve will be solved by more money. If we want to stop all this madness instantly, I think the younger generation need to create a framework, a responsible framework, and let's make a proposal globally and locally to enable gun laws. We want to create a responsible gun culture in Nigeria. This is not something that I would have wanted before. These are the kind of things that, Africans were not really violent prone people. But what will you do with a government that arms terrorists to kill civilians? And then if you are even a hunter or anybody, you're looking for a license to get a gun. Listen, I remember in Kano many years ago. Oh, my friend, Dr. Fadipe, he's late now. Very brave leader, Christian leader. Blood in the streets of Kano. He would say, let's go out. Go and look for the Christians, how to protect their lives in Kano. I remember there was a time in one particular area of Kano where people from the south stay, especially the southeast, they had collected guns and armed themselves because they knew these attacks were coming. In that particular year, when the people came shouting Allahu Akbar under the cover, using the religion as a cover to come and slaughter and to kill, when they faced a volley of fire, look, they screamed and ran for their lives. The next day, the commissioner of police demanded that anybody who has guns should come and submit them. So the complicity of governance with this thing is not today. We saw this in the field many years. So what am I saying? The young people in Nigeria need to aggregate together quietly and make one more demand using the digital advantage. We don't need any election in Nigeria right now until the security issue is resolved.
So you want young people to have guns, to be armed. You're suggesting that
all hunters, every family has the right to this. That's why I said responsible gun culture.
Now, he gave two testimony. In confirmation to what that lady said, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is paying heavily to close the mouths of the Western world, not to talk about the things that is going on in Nigeria. Two, he said that he would prefer that they should legalize arms for Nigerians to protect themselves, since the security agency can no longer protect you. You listen to the testimony he gave, but it didn't end there. In confirmation, I want you guys to listen to Adas Oshomole raising the motion in the Senate House. That this is not the first time. What Peter Thompson said in this particular video was years back, and the thing have repeated itself over and over. The recent one was the one that happened in Kebbi, and I want you guys to watch the motion that Adas Oshomole raised. We'll be right back.
We all admitted we were shocked about war kidnapping that took place in Kebbi. And it was reported, and the governor of Kebbi State cried aloud that military personnel that were in that particular school were ordered to be withdrawn. And about 40 minutes later, the kidnappers came and cut away about 200, I can't remember exactly the number of children. This Senate, under your leadership, we passed a resolution that the military high command should disclose the name of that officer, the action that had been taken against him, to satisfy us that that action was not willful, or that people who are trusted to protect us, that some of them have not become part of our problem.
Who ordered the troops, or who is ordering these troops, is the question that everybody wants answered for. The hands of the Senate are tied, but the only person that can find solution or answer to it, one, is the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, two, the Senate President, three, the Chief of Defense Staff, or four, the Chief of Army Staff as well. These four people have the autonomy, the power to know exactly who ordered those things. But unfortunately, when your hands are dirty, you cannot dust the stain on another person's body. Now, question that people have been asking over time, this is the same thing now. It's happening right in your eyes. This testimony of Peter Ladi Thompson is different. This one just recently happened. A lot of you are witness to it. If people are giving testimony on the media, most of you might not believe. Now, we have to go back to the ground so that you people will see or listen from the horse's mouth. This is not Kirby. This is not the one that Mr. Ladi Peter said. This is different one in Jos that just recently happened. I want you guys to listen to the testimony on how the military was also supporting terrorists to destroy these people.
These people came and they killed 7 people. What actually pains us most is it has already been in record that the Moravul man has never attempted attacking a person. We have never done that. We've been piping our youths. And indeed, the Moravul man is a law-abiding person. Yet, these people, they are persisting. What actually is paining us most is when our youth, stand to defend, to react, the security personnel are fighting us. They are fighting us. Most of the casualties in the hospitals, they were injured by these soldiers. I don't actually know. Have they come to secure the life of people or to fight the people? Knowingly that the Fulani man is the man that is always attacking us. They knew, and they have done nothing about it. Besides that also, I want to say this to your hearing, Commissioner of Police. Hear this very, very well. The people used to come with sophisticated weapons. Sophisticated weapons. I have an exhibit of what happened. What is this? What color? Which color is this? Is this not army green? This is what they use. But when our boys will stand with their local, I say local, just local made gun to protect their land, your people will fight them and will also collect it.
You keep on hearing different story on different occasions, how the military have been accomplices. I have been saying it on my platform that if Nigeria wants change, the first thing they will do is to probe all the security agencies that are living on salary but have estate or have all kinds of investment. They just have to give account how they make the money. But I know this kind of videos that is exposing them will get them provoked. For this Abuja now, they're going to look how to get me. But I'm not. That's why anytime I speak, I have to give videos evidence. I cannot just allege without giving you videos proof. You cannot just claim that, oh, I said it. You listen to every one of them what they are saying. Now, in confirmation of what he said, because Una Kanu said these things before, legalize weapons, let them protect, let everybody protect their community. But I want you guys to listen to an old video of Una Kanu when he was requesting weapons to protect and secure Igbo land. We'll be right back.
You said it's a peaceful struggle, but yes. There are some videos of you appearing in the past, especially abroad, in particular in one conference in the US, where you said you need weapons to defend yourself, you need guns and ammunition. How can we understand that in the context that you're saying it's a peaceful struggle?
I'm sure you've heard about the Fulani headsmen killing people all over the place. Have you heard about it?
Of course.
Exactly. So how do you intend to defend yourself against Fulani headsmen without guns and bullets? They've been killing our people, raping our women, destroying crops in the farms, and no one does anything about it. Is that how human beings are supposed to live?
So, and you have the right to arm yourself and defend yourself with arms in that context?
Self-defense is recognized even by all the known laws of the UN. Is that not correct? We have the right. If somebody were to barge into this very interview and are wielding a machete or an AK-47, are you suggesting we should let them get away with it?
You were detained for almost 2 years, from 2015 on, and actually there was no trial. No trial ever happened, and despite several court rulings that said you were supposed to be released, you were not released.
Yes.
Do you think you were treated in a fair way by the government? Or rather also by the justice system?
No, not fairly, because Nigeria is not a civilized country. People behave like animals. They're not reasonable enough. They're not disciplined enough. They are not mentally developed enough to run a transparent civil society. For them, they have a feudal mindset where you have the ruling class and, you know, a multitude of poverty-stricken people who never utters any word in rebellion or to even ask questions about their plight. That is one thing we are determined to challenge.
Don't you think you insult a lot of Nigerians with that?
I'm being very kind, to be honest. I could have used far more harsher words to describe them. I'm being very kind.
So generally, you don't think very positive of your countrymen then, obviously?
They are not... When you say positive, no, as individuals, perhaps there are a few good people amongst them, but as a collective, it's an absolute mess. And you can see for yourself. Didn't you go through the roads and see how horrible they are? Didn't you see how unkempt everywhere is? How filthy and dirty everywhere is? That is the product of a Nigerian system that is uniquely backwards, even by the very third world standards of Black Africa. That's the fact, and people must face up to it.
Well, I traveled in the north quite extensively, and I went to very remote areas sometimes where you would still find Igbo people living there, peaceful together with communities in the north. Don't you sometimes think that you might endanger their peaceful coexistence with the communities there, that they might get into trouble with that?
So if they're living so peacefully together, or cohabiting so peacefully as you put it, how come you hear about all those uprisings in the north where southern Christians are being slaughtered and nothing gets done about it? Are you telling me that that is normal? People are in the north out of a dire need, necessity more or less, to try and survive. Because here, the entire production process has been emasculated by people and policies that are geared towards ensuring that our people exist in perpetual state of poverty. And that is unacceptable to us. What we're asking the world to recognize is that we want to live in peace, not in pieces. We want to live in peace, just to allow us to be. Allow Biafra to exist. We were existing before the British came. Just allow us to go back to, what we were before. No African came to Europe to create countries. So for somebody to just come in here and say, you, from today, your name is Nigeria, is simply laughable.
Over and over again, we'll make a separate video. There are a lot of videos I really want to work on. There are lots of videos of insecurity. People are sending to me. I cannot talk about all, because if I have to be bombarding you guys video every day, nobody will watch. That's why I'm still trying to lengthen it. Post in the morning, post in the evening, post in the morning. But let me not just waste your time. Why you are thinking of all these things that is going on in Nigeria? Oh, why our leaders are not talking? Why is the Senate silent? But somebody took it to the Senate, demanding for accountability of those that are accomplices, those that are involved, the perpetrators, and those that are carrying out this evil. But guess what? When he finished talking, Akpabio said, no, that won't be my problem now. My problem is how Tinubu is going to borrow money. And I want you guys to watch.
Only one example. The governor of Kebbi said that somebody ordered troops out and people were kidnapped. Till today, nobody in Nigeria knows what happened. And no question has been asked. And we're sitting down here as a parliament, and we turn and we talk. Yet, somebody is responsible. If I'm the commander-in-chief, I will call the army commander in that place and the head of the army and say, if you don't get me the head of this person, who withdrew the troops to put all these children in jeopardy? Then you make an example of him. That is how a country is run. A country is not run on pacification. A country is run on confronting issues. I rest my case.
Mr. President, sometimes it's not the amount of the language. Sometimes it's not the amount of what we say here. But Mr. President, I want to ask, what is the fate of our security summit now? Because the same thing is happening everywhere. The same solutions we are adopting. We cannot have a different result unless we go back to the drawing board and look for different ways. In Plateau State, there's a division, a complete division of Nigerian Armed Forces. When I was governor, it happened like that. Just within 50 years, several people were killed. Nothing happened. Today, it was during the land, I would say the land, where people were killed. But before then, There were viral reports of people saying on so day there will be killings, and on so day there were killings. What will the security be doing now when events like this happen? Surprisingly, it has even moved into security.
You have 1 minute remaining because of time?
Yes. I'm only summarizing and agreeing in total with everything said by the Plan, but also to say we must hasten this security summit if it will yield any result. Otherwise, the killings will continue.
Thank you very much. Senator Pam, you have the floor. Senator Pam.
So I join you and my colleagues to commend Mr. President that in these difficult times, when we don't really have money, that it is better to borrow for projects. It's better to borrow for infrastructure so that at the end of the day, we'll have something to see. Thank you.
You're listening to everything the man said. Now, Senate President's concern is that we should approve money to Tinubu. Tinubu should borrow more money. That's what is problem now. In the face of economy, we need more money. Not that to protect yourself now, the money they are going to share to buy new SUV, to enjoy themselves. Anyway, I have a lot to say. I don't just want to congest everything in this video. So I'll be waiting for you guys in the comment section to tell me your thoughts while we work on another video entirely. But what are your takes in this particular video? What do you think about Bola Ahmed Tinubu team that are bribing the Western world? What do you also think about the former spokesperson of the late Buhari? What do you also think about Reverend Thompson Peter? What's your thought about this particular video, the testimony of this lady? All of them. What are your thoughts? Please let us know in the comment section. I love you. God love you more. Until we meet again, stay tuned because there are lots of videos we are going to arrive in this platform. I love you guys. Peace out.